is Fields Auto Group Cubs pregame live.
Cubs down 3-0, trying to get their first hit. How about that? Deep to right, gone off the facing of that second deck for Anthony Rizzo. Fly ball deep to center, way back. That home run percentage goes up for Anthony Rizzo.
Yes, Anthony Rizzo supplied the power for the Cubs offense last night in the nation's capital, but it still wasn't enough as they dropped game 2 today. Madden's Club looking to get back in the win column. Cubs and Nationals coming your way just after 11 o'clock. Hello and welcome everyone to Cubs pregame live, presented by Fields Auto Group. Along with Todd Hollinsworth, I'm Kelly Krall, and yes, Rizzo is raking. There's no doubt about it. All-star first baseman is feeling good. His 2 big blasts help extend his hitting streak to 10 games, matching a career high. Swinging the bat might be an understatement at this point for Anthony Rizzo. His 10th and 11th long balls of the season coming last night. His 8th multi-homer performance of his career. Last one, July 22nd of last year. Just thoughts on Anthony Rizzo right now?
Well, he's doing a great job using his backside. That's the one thing that you certainly pick up on. You saw it last night in the ballgame. When you can turn on 94 miles an hour, you're definitely clearing your backside, and he's getting to the baseball right now. And he's opening up his game. It's unlocking from the early stages. Again, when you turn 94 around, much like he did last night, it just puts the fear into everybody else that comes onto the mound. Roark was dealing. Let's remember, what happened right there in that moment. 9 up and 9 down for Roark before Rizzo decides to take that 94 miles an hour and deposit it in the second deck. What's it do the rest of the ball game? They stay away from his power. He plays into that, hits a home run to dead center field, drives another ball to the wall in left center field. He's on his game, hitting 360 over this 10-game hitting streak. And really, to me, it's all about getting some of the other boys in the lineup going along with Anthony Rizzo. He's taken the team and kind of put them on his shoulders here. We got to get a few more of these bats rolling.
Yeah, it's certainly been fun to watch. Let's take a look at his numbers throughout the 10-game hitting streak. We mentioned Rizzo batting .361, 13 hits in his last 36 at-bats. His on-base percentage .465, slugging over 700. You know, David Ross the other night calling him the heart and soul of this team. Todd never taking an at-bat off.
Yeah, the great thing about Anthony Rizzo in this year, even kind of coming into the season, I was real curious to see how it was going to go. Anthony kind of had some really, big marks in his career and some solid seasons. But the idea was, what was he going to be this year? Was he going to be the face of the franchise? We knew Chris Bryant was on the way. We knew Addison Russell was going to get here. We knew John Lester was coming to town, and Arrieta had taken a step forward. I was real curious to see who Anthony Rizzo was going to become this year, and there is no doubt about who the face of this franchise is right now and moving forward. This team is going to center around him offensively. He continues to prove not only to us Cubs fans here in Chicago, but to all of baseball that he is one of the better, one of the best first basemen in the game.
Yeah, very much elevated his game this season, it seems like. And Joe Madden, very impressed, I think, already campaigning for his second All-Star appearance. High praise from the skipper as well.
Yeah, it's not going to be a hard argument to get Anthony Rizzo to the All-Star game. The hard part might be actually getting him into the starting position. He's going up against Paul Goldschmidt, as we know O2L is having a fantastic season down with the Arizona Diamondbacks. But he is down in Arizona, so hopefully we can use a little bit of our popularity here in Chicago and maybe help Anthony's cause. But again, fantastic seasons for both these guys. It's great to watch them battle. He and Goldschmidt are both guys who, again, are off to great starts to their career and are going to do battle with this All-Star vote probably for years to come.
Yeah, fun to watch. Well, let's get right to today's matchup. Take a look at the Cubs lineup brought to you by Wrigleyville Sports. Day off for Starlin Castro. Dexter Fowler leading off, Anthony Rizzo, Chris Bryant, Miguel Montero hitting cleanup, Junior Lake, Chris Coughlin, Jonathan Herrera in the lineup. They're playing second, Jason Hamill, and Addison Russell at shortstop, which should be fun to see. As we mentioned, Castro the day off, his first scheduled day off of the season, and while he closed out last night with a double in the ninth, he's hitting just .221 in May and June combined, 27 strikeouts, 7 free passes during that time, and 2 of those were intentional walks. What do you think about just giving him a blow, Todd?
Well, today's a great day to do it. I mean, the early start time, here we are, it's, 10:30 here in Chicago. It's 11:30 in the capital, the nation's capital. It is an early one. It's tough on Anthony. It's tough on Starlin. It's tough on everybody. These are not the most fun games that you get yourself involved in, but I think it's a great opportunity to give Starlin a day off. A lot going through his mind, both offensively and defensively, and I think it's a good spot to get him out of there. Give him that blow. It is just a day off. Don't overreact to it. I know that maybe there's some angles here with Baez and things that are maybe going to happen down the road here. But again, Addison Russell, listen, we don't know what the future holds for the organization. I'm sure the organization would say, listen, we got a game plan, but we don't know exactly how it's supposed to play itself out. With that being said, giving others opportunities. Joe Madden has talked about it from the beginning of the year. We saw Chris Bryant in center field. Addison Russell sliding over and playing a little bit of shortstop. Maybe he's the future, maybe he isn't. But again, having that flexibility with your roster allows you to do things. Injuries happen. I mean, guys go down, things happen. Guys go to the 15-day DL, and sometimes worst-case scenarios happen where players have to be able to move. And giving them opportunities at other spots on the field certainly increases the depth of your roster and the ability to move guys around the field.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, though. Whether intended or not, this off day, seeing Addison Russell at short, Cubs fans have to be wondering, is that Javier Baez call-up around the corner? Do you think maybe in Detroit we could possibly be seeing this guy, or is it still a little?
Yeah, I think it's a very real possibility, and the real big reason is that he's swinging a great bat right now, and the bottom line is this: we need some more offense, and you got the DH position there, you got some flexibility. You know, I thought it was a real good move today. I mean, like I said, I know a lot of this is talked about prior to happening, but if you would have taken Starlin out and kind of did some of the shuffling, say in the Detroit series, which is coming up, I think we by nature would question, whoa, what's going on here? What's the where are we going with all of this? By giving Starlin the day off, it allows you to, ease him in, bring him up, use him at DH, put him in at second, put Addison at short if that's what you want to do. Maybe give Starlin another blow and allow him to DH. So there's some flexibility there. That's why I think this off day today is an important one as well. Not to mention that Baez is swinging that bat. Listen, he has not been forgotten. There's some swing adjustments that he had to make. He had to tone down that leg kick. He had to understand that. Went through some personal things, family issues that certainly had to be dealt with, and we'll just leave it at that. But the point is this: his game seems like it's back. His approach is that much better, and an opportunity should be coming his way real soon.
Yeah, mentally, it looks like he's grown a little bit. I'm sure, as you mentioned, the personal stuff as well as on the field. Well, as for the Nationals, let's get to their lineup. Denard Span, Ryan Zimmerman, Bryce Harper, Anthony Rendon, of course, Wilson Ramos, who got after the Cubs last night, Clint Robinson, Ian Desmond, Danny Espinosa, who also got in there on the home run action, and Joe Ross, which brings us right up to today's DraftKings pitching matchup. Jason Hamill going for his 5th win of the season. This will be his first time navigating that Nationals lineup this season. His time, of course, up didn't coincide with the Nats visiting the Cubs last week, and Joe Maddon's club, as well as the rest of the league, getting their first up-close look at Washington's Joe Ross.
Yeah.
I think Hamill, as we look at the numbers here, we talked about his last time out. He was just tremendous in Miami, punched out a career-high 11 over the course of 6 2/3, Todd, giving up just 1 run on 5 hits. And how about this? And for impressive 10 starts this season, he's struck out 69 and allowed just 7 walks. It's not like this guy's new to teams, but yet he's being so efficient, so effective. What do you think it is that has him doing that?
Well, it's really his slider. It's the effectiveness of his slider. It's his fastball command. I mean, that's just it. I mean, we're watching what he's doing. He's getting ahead of hitters, and he's putting hitters away with the slider more times than not. As a matter of fact, 90% of the time you're seeing the 2-seam, 4-seam fastball out of his hand or that slider. He will mix in the changeup and the curveball occasionally, but he's attacking the strike zone. That's clearly what it's all about. And the fact is that he's getting after hitters. He's going in there. He's not dancing around the strike zone. He is attacking the strike zone, throwing good strikes. When I mean good strikes, the ball over the corner, 2-seam fastballs back over the white of the plate, not just on the black. But then what he does is he expands the strike zone. As hitters fall behind, they become a little bit more impatient, want to be more aggressive against him. Listen, hitters know these numbers. They know that he's got high strikeout totals and low walk totals. It promotes aggressiveness. The Nationals today are going to come out swinging the bat against him. That's going to be the challenge for him today, is that fastball command that we've talked so much about and how good it's been is probably going to be tested early in at-bats, early in the count, because the Nats are going to do that. That's how he's found his success. That's how they'll try to counteract it. But he has been absolutely awesome. and in his career as well. 8-0, by the way, in 10 starts going up against the Nats. So a lot of success, and the fact that they haven't seen him, I love this. I love our matchup today going up against Joe Ross. He's a big-time prospect with the Nats. He's got a big arm, but hey, listen, I'm going to go with the first-time jitters. I'm going to say that it's probably going to play into our hands a little bit today, and hopefully our bats get rolling.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Hamill, knock on wood, never lost against the Nationals. The 8-0, a 3.11 ERA in 10 career games, 58 strikeouts to the 12 walks you see there. And Jason has mentioned before he's a morning person. I think with a couple kiddos at home, he's used to getting up. But let's go opposing Hamill. Yes, as Todd mentioned, 22-year-old Joe Ross making his major league debut this afternoon at Nationals Park. 6'4", 205. Talk about a big downhill plane, I think you could call it. The righty called up from AA Harrisburg, where he's had a 2.81 ERA over 9 starts. The younger brother to Padres starter Tyson Ross. What are you going to be keeping your eye on today while watching the Nats' number 4 prospect?
Well, his fastball command. He's got a live arm. I mean, again, you talked about the downhill tilt. It does exist. He's a long arm guy, meaning he gets on top of the ball really well and throws down plane. Throws the two-seamer, has a lot of run. So the Cubs hitters are going to be sitting on that fastball early. He does have a knockout slider. It's tight, it's hard. But again, it's going to be interesting to see how nerves play into this. I'm sure Matt Williams, manager of the Nationals, is going to be watching this one closely. I mean, you know what he's all about. You know that he's their top prospect, but he is making his big league debut, and it is a bit nerve-wracking. Whether you're a player or whether you're a pitcher, you're going out there to try to prove you belong. So again, it's going to be interesting. He does have a changeup. It's his 3rd pitch. Probably won't throw it too much, but we'll see. It's interesting. I think that first time through the lineup is going to be vital for him as he tries to establish his fastball and kind of get comfortable out there and see where it goes. But if the Cubs can jump him, maybe jump on a few of those fastballs and send a message, and we're a pretty darn good fastball hitting team, I think we can unravel them.
You're saying the butterflies may get a few more in the stomach.
I want to see more butterflies.
Well, we're just getting started here on Cubs Pregame Live, presented by Fields Auto Group. Bryce Harper in full bloom this season. We'll take a closer look at the young slugger's early season success and also his lack of contact against Jason Hamill when we come back.
Cubs Pregame Live is presented by Fields Auto Group. Fields matters because you matter. See Fields first. FieldsAuto.com.
See Fields first.
Fields, they're like no other dealership I've ever been to.
They make you feel so comfortable, and they're there for you. They want you to be happy, and that's important. It matters.
It's what we do, including our amenities program, which is absolutely free and includes free car washes and loaners. Fields matters because you matter.
We regularly partake in the car washes, and the loaner program is very important to us as well.
For Fields Auto Group locations, go to FieldsAuto.com. Then see Fields first.
A strong business needs to be connected. The right location will provide everything a company needs to grow. Elk Grove Village is home to a community of over 3,600 companies. It's surrounded by highways. It's freight rail served. And its next-door neighbor is the world's busiest airport. So when it comes to being connected, we have options. Elk Grove Village. Makers wanted.
What's in a drop? The expectation of what comes next. That's what keeps the energy going. The drop refreshes the beat every time. So what's in a drop?
Is there such a thing as a sure thing in business? Some say buy gold. Others say buy soybeans. I say buy Comcast Business Internet. Unlike internet providers that slow down when traffic picks up, you get speed you can rely on. It's a safe bet. Like a gold-plated soybean.
Reliably fast internet starts at $69.95 a month. Comcast Business, built for business.
Wow, bear season was incredible, but it was absolutely freezing. So Wrigleyville Sports helped me warm up for bull season. They were on fire all year long. Then came the Blackhawks, and they got hot too. But now the boys of summer are back, and it's time to head to the south side. On second thought, it's a perfect day to get some sun in the bleachers.
looking day in D.C. A little cloudy, but almost 80 degrees for Game 3 between the Cubs and Nationals coming your way at the top of the hour. And we welcome you back into Cubs pregame live, presented by Fields Auto Group. A nice early start for the Cubs as Todd and I are waking you up hopefully this afternoon. 11 a.m. start. Cubs looking for another solid outing from Jason Hamill to give them a 2-1 lead in this 4-game series, pull them even on the 9-game road trip. That would be pretty nice. It's time for Built for Business, presented by Comcast Business. And as we take a closer look at one of the best young hitters in baseball, Bryce Harper has 9 homers in day games, 9 in night games. So pretty even. Only difference, he's played 12 less matinees than nightcaps. Harper definitely an early riser this season, it seems. He's also got a higher batting average and OPS in day games. Guess that doesn't bode so well for the Cubs, but he's tied for the league lead with 18 dingers. Comcast Business, built for business. Bryce Harper got after the Cubs pretty much in the last series, Todd. I mean, does anything surprise you when you see what he's doing? I mean, base running a little bit yesterday had everyone talking, but I mean, he's still doing it offensively.
I would compare it to Anthony Rizzo. I mean, these are two young players who, again, we don't know what their ceiling is, and we all believe that there's more there, and Anthony's taken it to another level. Bryce Harper's done the same thing. I think the May of 2015 will only, really be talked about, about Bryce putting his name on the map. We all know who Bryce Harper is. It's the fact that he's taking himself up to that elite conversation. The conversation that once was Trout, Harper, even a little Manny Machado thrown in there. Trout has separated himself. Bryce is catching up again, and that's the fun part about this. He's actually become a force with this team. He takes his walks. He's putting together great at-bats. He's a guy that they believe in and a guy that they count on. Had a great conversation with Matt Williams last week about him. This offense, this team is centered around what this man does and what this young man does. And let's not forget, he's younger than Chris Bryant. I mean, it is absolutely amazing when you think at how early he got himself to the big leagues, how he's learned, and sometimes the patience that you have to have with younger players. And I do still apply that to Starlin Castro as well. I know it doesn't necessarily correlate directly, but I mean, young players make a lot of mistakes, and sometimes that learning curve can go on for a few years. It doesn't just happen overnight for everybody, as we kind of get a little impatient sometimes. But again, they were patient with Harper, and they are definitely reaping the rewards of his efforts right now. He is controlling his at-bats. I mean, he is hitting to power to all fields and doing great things for him, and many of us believe that he is going to be a 40-homer, 110 RBI guy for a lot of years to come. Yeah, it's crazy to think Chris Bryant, on this day 2 years ago, was drafted by the Cubs, and so at that point, Bryce Harper has already been in the league a few years, so it is certainly crazy to think how young he is. And speaking of success, Ryan Zimmerman against Jason Hamill, been pretty good. 11 for 31 in his career with 3 doubles and a home run. Bryce Harper, on the other hand, hitless in 10 at-bats. 5 of those have ended in strikeouts. Well, let's take a revisit to last night's game. Yoshi Wada, not his best. In a note he'd rather forget, he tied a career high, giving up 9 hits and saw his ERA jump from 2.3 before the game to 4.18 when he exited in the 4th inning. The lefty pitched just 3 2/3 innings, giving up 5 runs on 9 hits as the Nationals jumped on him early and often. Thought it also meant in his 4 starts, he's yet to go 6. I mean, we watched Edwin Jackson come in, former starter, then we watched Travis Wood come in. I mean, are you, with anyone else, wondering what the future holds for Yoshi Wada? Oh, no, I don't worry about what the future holds for him. I think what you see is what you get. You have to take it for what it is. I mean, there's a reason he hasn't gone past 6 innings. I mean, that goes, honestly, he's only gone 7 innings one time in his big league career with us, with the Chicago Cubs. That goes back to his 3rd start last year, so it's been a long time coming. I mean, the idea is that what you see is what you get. He's good for 1 or 2 times through that lineup. Again, basically what happened to him last night is his fastball command has been such a big part of his game, attacking the strike zone and then implementing his decent curveball and changeup. His changeup's a good pitch for him, but he didn't have it last night. So when he kind of went back around and had to get off that fastball because he was being hit and he was falling behind hitters, he didn't have the changeup to go to. He didn't have the curveball to get strikes, to get some of that bad contact. And you kind of find and felt, as we all did last night in the middle of that ball game, it was just a matter of time. So he was trying to survive his start last night, and that's essentially what happens. You wonder sometimes why Joe Madden goes out and gets him in the 5th inning. I mean, you can see what's kind of building. As the opposition starts to build better at-bats against him, you start to understand why. Given 2-3 looks against him, you're probably going to put together a better at-bat.
Well, and starters aren't going to be on point every night, but following this game, Yoshi Wada did say he could feel the pressure. He says, I do understand that there are 2 possible rotation guys in the bullpen. Wada through his interpreter, of course, if I said I didn't feel like or don't feel the pressure, I would be lying. But it's just the same as last year. I understand the situation I'm in, and I have to pitch every time. His manager, however, sticking by his southpaw for now.
Compared to the first, 3 games he had pitched, the stuff was not as solid around home plate. So, you know, his 4th game out, it could have been one of those moments where he just didn't have the same feeling that he had the last couple times out. Eager to see him back out there again, because I know that's an easy. People talk about the 3rd time through. But I'm looking for that time where he can get through the 3rd time.
You just talked about the 2nd time.
Right. Well, I just thought the stuff wasn't as good tonight. He didn't throw as many breaking balls. Remember, like the first couple games, I thought the breaking ball was more pertinent. I didn't see it as being as much so tonight, and just the swing and miss on the fastball wasn't there. So that little jump wasn't in there.
Well, it'll be Jason Hamill's turn today at Nationals Park. You can see those fans don't mind the early start. They're getting ready, filing in 11 a.m. And we will continue here on Cubs pregame live, presented by Fields Auto Group, right after a quick timeout.
Try a new small McCafe green apple smoothie or medium frozen strawberry lemonade. Just $2 each this summer at McDonald's.
See Fields first.
It's not about the numbers, it's about the customer experience. The employees buy into it and they enjoy it, so you can tell that whole service trickles down to the staff, how they feel about customers, so they really value everyone.
It's what we do, including our amenities program, which is absolutely free and includes free car washes and loaners.
It separates Fields from some of the other dealerships, and I will not go anywhere else.
For Fields Auto Group locations, go to fieldsauto.com. Then see Fields first.
So you take a chance on that slick DirecTV offer. $19 you think, but after just 3 months, you're paying over $100 a month, and it keeps going up. Suddenly, you're locked into a 2-year contract that could cost you nearly $3,000. Thinking about DirecTV? Better hang on to your wallet.
There's nothing direct about DirecTV. Call Xfinity from Comcast for a great offer and lock in your rate for 2 years.
This Cubs injury report is brought to you by ATI Physical Therapy. Taking physical therapy to a higher level. Ask your doctor about ATI Physical Therapy. Get there.
It's only an egg, freshly cracked at morning light. A real delight when you take that very first bite. Introducing McDonald's Bacon and White Cheddar McMuffin. Get one in a small McCafe coffee for just $3.50.
Introducing Ride by Yamaha, the world's first dual throttle handlebar control system. Engineered to change the way you experience the water. Benefits include enhanced handling and smooth deceleration. Docking and slow speed maneuverability is simple and precise. There's only one way to ride, and it's only available on Yamaha Wave Runners. Yamaha, the #1 brand on the water.
Menards Crazy Day sale has amazing deals going on right now. Save big on this 1900 PSI electric pressure washer, $88.99. Keep pests at bay with Skinsations insect repellent, free after rebate. Look great in these Ralph Lauren t-shirts for just $7.77 each. And update any room with this 6-panel interior door that's only $55 after rebate. Stop in during Menards Crazy Days sale, where the prices are so low, they're crazy. Hurry in. Sale ends Sunday.
Comcast Sportsnet, your home for Chicago Cubs baseball.
Cubs and Nationals coming your way in just a few minutes. An 11:05 start here on this Saturday morning. Jason Hamill eyeing his 2nd consecutive win, and we are about to wrap things up here on Our Cubs pregame live presented by Fields Auto Group. It is time for Todd's Keys. Tell us what it's going to take for the Cubbies to pull off a W against the Nats.
Well, selectively aggressive kind of applies every day, but I think it really does when you're going up against Joe Ross in this situation, because there's a young man who's a top prospect making his Major League debut. What I'm talking about here is really just getting on that fastball. Listen, you don't want to allow yourself, you don't want to let him settle in, find his slider, find his changeup. I want to see the Cubs today and certainly hope that they come out ready to swing those bats. Like I said, we know it's an early start time. It's 12 o'clock. Everybody gets that. But again, you're going up against Joe Ross. It's a situation where he is going to look to establish that big-time fastball and get himself into a rhythm. If he's throwing strikes, if he's out over the plate, if he makes some mistakes, we need to make him pay. And we need to make him uncomfortable on the mound. So again, big arm there. Let's see if the boys can be selectively aggressive. And again, like I said, Matt Waynes is going to watch this closely with Joe Ross. He's another opportunity to get into that Nats bullpen. That's good, but has had some bumps over the last week or so. And so maybe we can get into that bullpen a little early. Now, the carryover effect is also talking a little bit about this offense. It's been the Anthony Rizzo show for about the last 10 days. I think it's time that kind of collectively we get things going. Montero homered yesterday. Junior Lake base hit. Coughlin, nice base hit late in the ball game. Obviously, Starling Castro, he's not in there today. But the feel was a little bit better towards the end of the game than what we've sensed over the last few ball games. And really, it's just kind of putting everybody on point. I've watched the strike zones expand for some of these hitters. Addison Russell's hitting about $160 over his last 6 ball games. He chased 3 pitches in an at-bat yesterday, 3 curveballs, curveball, and he was just in swing mode. Guys, a little bit more focus with these at-bats and start to dig themselves out of this thing, get that confidence rolling. Again, we've got to be able to score from multiple spots in the lineup. It cannot just be Anthony Rizzo carrying all of the burden. Contract and expand. This is Jason Hamill. I talked about it a little bit earlier in the show. We're going to talk about it on the third key. How good he's been with the ability to get ahead of hitters and then to get to that devastating slider. Expect more of that today. Of course, I can sit here and tell you he's 8-0 and 10 starts against the Nats in his career. Well, those are pretty good numbers. But here's the deal. He's been good against a lot of teams. In particular, well, I use it as an example. The Marlins are a very comparable team to the Nationals offensively. Have a marquee player in the middle of their lineup, like to swing the bat. What did he do last start? 11 strikeouts, no walks. Look for some of that same today. Again, early fastball aggressiveness, 2-seam fastball on the corners, and at the same time implementing that slider as the at-bat goes on, and I think that strikeout total can be a high one again today.
Seems like a pretty good formula for success, and I totally agree. The offense got to come from more than just Anthony Rizzo, but let's go with our top key performers. Does this mean I'm filling in, I guess, for Cap, but you won last time, so you get a...
I did. I won last time, so I'm going to go with Chris Bryant since Cap's not here. Cap, you lose out on Chris Bryant, your adopted son. I'm going to go ahead and take him today. I like the matchup. But you got Joe Ross going, and you got young player Chris Bryant. I kind of like this matchup here with both young guys kind of getting after it. Bryant has kind of stepped up in this format, and also remember that game against Syndergaard against the Mets. I thought the Cubs had a real nice approach. So very likable game today.
Well, I'll go with Anthony Rizzo. You called it the Anthony Rizzo show for a minute. I feel like 10 straight games. I mean, it's a pretty decent pick, I think. So we'll see what Rizzo and Bryant and the rest of the crew can do this afternoon. We appreciate you watching Cubs pregame live presented by Fields Auto Group. Lynn and JD on the way with your hometown call. Jason Hamill and the Cubs facing Joe Ross and the Nationals coming your way from Nationals Park. Enjoy the game, everyone. We'll see you right after the final out.
Chicago's favorite spot for prime steaks, the freshest seafood, and world-famous Florida stone crab. Come on down to Joe's.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Ball strike 3.
Is history in the making. Cortez, 23 years old, first woman in the majors.
Never miss a moment. Get live TV on the go included with AT&T UVerse TV for just $19 a month for 2 years with qualifying bundles and 1-year term.
Where were you born? It's a question asked all the time.
Because where you're from shapes who you are, inspires how you do things. And when that inspiration comes from a place this refreshing, this majestic, this... well, you get the idea. Coors Light, born in the Rockies.
There's a drive to deep center field, and this could be the ball game. He's going back. He leads.
T-Mobile's network has more data capacity per customer than Verizon and AT&T. It's the network that's data strong all season long. Switch now and get a free subscription to MLB.com at-bat premium, only at T-Mobile.
Scouting is an important part of baseball, but it's also an important part of shopping. I'm looking for hustle. That's fast enough. Now let's see if you can catch. If you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking.
Nice day here in Washington, D.C. as this long weekend series continues. Game 3 as the Cubs and the Nationals do battle. The Cubs winning Thursday night, the Nationals last night. Great to have you with us. Hope your Saturday morning is going well. Along with Jim DeShays, I'm Len Casper. The Nationals won last night, but Anthony Rizzo was the best player on the field.
Yeah, very impressive show by Rizzo last night. The Cubs have really struggled to score runs over the last couple weeks or so. Anthony Rizzo had a big night last night, however. Ambushed Tanner Roark on a first pitch fastball for a home run off the facade of the second deck, and then his next at-bat, he went deep to dead central and almost hit a third home run. Denard Span had to climb the wall to take extra bases away from Rizzo. And that third at-bat, 10-game hitting streak, 361, 2 long ones, 5 driven in for Rizzo. He's been the man for the Cubs all year long.
And that 10-game streak tied for his career best. Starlin Castro out of the lineup for the first time today. Addison Russell will start at short. Interesting day on the mound. Jason Hamill has never lost to the Nationals. Joe Ross has never pitched in the big leagues.
Yeah, this should be a lot of fun. Jason Hamill, 8-0 career against Washington, 5-0